The parasites that turn the hosts into zombies.
Real good times here.
Mm-hmm. This is the real life SCP-10. Zombies don't just belong in horror films. They crop up in nature. Believe it or not, there are many examples of mind-manipulating parasites that can hijack the host's nervous system, enslaving their victims in twisted ways. And yes, there's even one organism that scientists believe alter the minds of humans, and is present in as many as 50% of us. What? That's quite a bit. That is quite a bit of people.
So, either you or me have it.
Yeah. I mean, 50%. One of us. One of us got to have it. Who's this written by?
Who's this written? Let's see. Johann J. Ingalls.
Johann Jingles.
Lenoble.
That's right.
Oh, wait. This is the picture. This person who took this picture here.
Good enough.
Also, it's Johann Jingles now.
Yeah.
I say so.
Or Ingles. Would that be Ingles? Johann J. Ingles?
Ingles, Lenoble.
Yeah.
The jewel wasp. That's a very painful wasp.
Oh, yeah. Stings like a jewel.
I think the emerald wasp has the highest pain index in the world of bug bites and bug stings.
I know that there's like a scientist that's what he does is he gets stung. It's like on a scale of like, I don't know, being bit by a cricket to being shot in the foot.
Gonna have to say that's a 10. That's a real 10 right there.
Being set on fire, yeah. It's a little bit worse than that.
Can I get shot again? I just want to make sure it's
10.
I
want to make sure I got this filling down.
Yep. Okay, that's definitely 10.
Yeah. Definitely worse than being shot.
Could you call the hospital, please? Thank you. Mind-controlling fungi. It's not always easy being a fungus residing in a tropical forest. Humidity and temperature fluctuate, and many species can only thrive within a specific range of these variables. But members of the Ophiocordyceps, that's my last attempt.
Good enough.
Have evolved the spectacular mechanism to get around this.
Mechanism.
They zombify host ants and make them seek out the perfect environment for growth. And to add injury to insult. Completely missed that around.
Good job.
And to add insult to injury.
You been on the sauce early there, Goose?
No, just some orange juice. That might be bad. They also kill poor suckers and grow a triumphant stalk out of their head. I'm sorry, I missed the word "the" as well. I'm off my game today. They also kill the poor suckers. Numerous different, that word I said earlier, species, have been described that differ in the host. Whoa. I'm jumping.
You must have had some
of
that Russian sauce up in that orange juice.
I don't know, there's a lot of pulp though.
So numerous different Ophiocordyceps species have been described as. Is there an SCP that's like changing this up? I swear.
It's that last one we did with the.
Yeah, described that differ in their choice of host and killing. For example, they infect carpenter ants. After parasiting, this usually are Borel species.
Are we both breaking down?
I think what they meant to put is this usual. I think this is like, there's quite a few misspellings in this. It's throwing me off. Let's see.
Unilateralis is the name of this species.
Right.
Infects carpenter ants after parasiting.
Right?
Parasitizing.
I think they made this word up.
Parasitizing this usually arboreal species, the fungus manipulates it in such a way that it abandons its treehouse and heads for the sheltered underside of a leaf. But not just any leaf, a leaf with ideal conditions for fungus to grow. Here, the ant bites down on the leaf, usually on a vein, performing what is known as a death grip. As the name suggests, this location will be its final destination for the ant as the parasite kills it.
Dang, dude.
Next, the hyphae tubular fungal structures grow inside the host, eventually tearing through the back of its head. Spores are then released from the fungus into the small area below the leaf, referred to as infectious killing field, ready to start the process over again.
That sounds just the best.
Yep.
Literally the best.
That's the coolest.
This ant looks like it's having a great day.
Also, this carpenter ant, just even without all the fungals around it, it just looks like really dangerous. So look at the spikes on the middle part right there.
Yeah, I don't know what a regular carpenter ant looks like. But wait, carpenter ants are usually really big.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
So let's say crickets. So horsehair worms, long stringy endoparasites of various arthropods are sickeningly interesting. The larvae of these creatures reside in body. What was that? Is that Sean Connery coming back up here?
Oh no!
Reside in the bodies of water throughout America, and start off their bizarre journey after being eaten by a mosquito.
Wait. Oh, the larvae. Okay, keep going.
These insects then get gobbled up by hungry crickets who really don't know what's coming next. The parasites burrow through the gut of the cricket before settling down in the comfy body cavity.
So comfy.
Incredibly, the worm can grow to about a foot in length. Oh my god. Inside a little cricket. Quite the contortionist. Then the worm needs to get back in the water to complete its life cycle. So that makes the cricket commit suicide. Normally, crickets stay away from water for fear of death, but infected hosts actually go out of their way to seek out water and cannibal into it, killing the poor swimmers pretty quickly. The worms then wiggle out of the dead carcass in search of a mate. Although it's not known how precise these worms alter the behavior of the cricket, studies have shown that the worms produce large quantities of neurotransmitters when inside the host and also cause the host to produce more neurotransmitters. Somewhere along the line, this causes the cricket to behave in an abnormal and suicidal manner, waving goodbye to terrestrial life in favor of early watery grave.
Now, if we believe in evolution here, technically that worm had to go through a bunch of trial and error to figure out what kinds of neurotransmitters to put out to make a cricket kill itself.
Right. And also, this looks like a grasshopper, not a cricket.
I think it's a rainforest cricket, I think. Right? Was that the...
No, it's just like a rain. Oh, no. You ever seen those, like,
America,
flying grasshoppers?
Throughout America, yeah. Yeah, that's a
grasshopper.
No, that's a cricket. See the back legs? Grasshoppers have more uniform. This one has a huge back
All right,
legs.
Then I guess you went to college for those crickets, right?
Yeah, the crickets are short and stubby with long legs.
Grasshoppers
have long bodies.
Dr. Goose here with the cricket expert.
Dr. Goose, PhD. Thank you.
Put respect on the name. Interestingly, it is not the only example of parasitic worms inducting risky swimming behaviors. Back in the 1980s, scientists observed small crustaceans called gammarids happily chilling on the surface of bodies of briny, slightly salty water in France. This was considered out of the ordinary because these animals usually reside at the bottom, avoiding the mouths of hungry predators. Further investigation revealed that the daredevil individuals were all infected with trematode worms known as...
Oh, God.
A word that starts with A.
And Canthrocephalans.
Yeah, it's like when scientists make up a word, they're like, all right, let's get the alphabet, throw it in the blender. All right, what do we got?
What kind of Latin can we throw in this?
Right.
And Canthrocephalans, let's just say.
Yeah, which, as before, manipulate the behavior of the host in order to participate in its life cycle. Or perpetuate its life cycle. Later, it was revealed that infected gammarids had altered serotonin-related serotonergic activity in their brains. This change in brain chemistry could affect neurological integrity.
Neuronal
integrity, ultimately leading to a modified behavior.
Whack. That's pretty whack, dog.
But what's more whack than that?
Wasp slaves.
It wasped me. It wasped me all along. I can't believe it.
Imagine a worm infecting. I mean, you could be infected by a parasite that controls you. But, I mean, they only really do two things. Become food or kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting here.
Sometimes it's both at once.
They mostly control them into killing themselves. Not like having a nice, healthy life and eating food.
Well, most of them
kill yourself.
will want the host to keep living because that keeps them alive.
I mean, tapeworms, feed off of the host and just end them.
No, I mean, you just become very...
Sickly?
Yeah, very sick. And then eventually you figure out you have them.
Oh, jerks.
Someone's poisoned the water hole.
Someone's poisoned my water hole. Wasp slaves. Some people are happy to fork out money for babysitters, but the same cannot be said for many wasp species. The majority of wasps are actually parasitoids, meaning that they borrow the body of another organism and use it as a nursery for their demanding offspring. But they don't merely act as a cozy cot. The developing little critters actually devour the host too, while it's alive. Yikes. Yikes was written there. I just wanted to say. There are a few truly disgusting examples of parasitoid wasps, starting with the Gilpatala patantalus species.
The Gilpatala potatoes.
The glyph potatoes. Members of this genus lay up to 80 eggs in a caterpillar that then hatch and snack on the poor unsuspecting host's body. The larvae gobble their way through the caterpillar's skin and attach themselves to a nearby piece of foliage and form a cocoon. Then, in a bizarre twist, the caterpillar becomes a bodyguard. It ignores its daily leaf-chopping duties and stands guard over the pupae, violently swinging its head at incoming predators, knocking them away. However, the parasites caused the caterpillars to turn into a faithful guardians is unknown. How the parasites caused caterpillars to fight is unknown. But unparasitized caterpillars don't perform this odd behavior. The emerald cockroach wasp, there it is, or jewel wasp, I guess it's called the same thing, also turn its host into a submissive zombie by injecting venom directly into its brain with a perfectly aimed sting to the head. Perfect lobotomy every time.
Dang, dude.
And then it drags a confused and paralyzed cockroach to a chamber and lays an egg on it before sealing the newly acquired pet inside the nest. Another thing it does that this doesn't say is it chops off one of the antennae, so it drags the other antennae, so it only knows how to move forward with that one antennae.
Wow.
Yeah.
That thing's brutal as heck. Man.
It is, and it's most extremely painful. The larvae eventually hatches and bores inside the host, eating its insides. While it's initially still alive, after gobbling much of its organs, the unfortunate cockroach dies.
Well, I guess cockroaches can't survive everything.
If cockroaches, I've heard something that said that for every bug species, there's a wasp to deal with it because they're the apex predators of the bug world.
All right.
Now, what would you prefer? Would you prefer cockroaches everywhere, or would you prefer no cockroaches but there's a bunch of emerald wasps?
How about neither?
Neither. Too bad.
There's the meme there's the meme that's the girl that says why not both?
Why not both? We have both right now.
We have that meme, but she has two cans of Raid. One's for cockroaches and one's for wasps.
Fantastic. I don't think Raid even works on cockroaches, does it?
It does, but they have to keep making new Raid because they keep becoming immune to
Really?
it. Yeah.
I know there's one thing where they...
boots always work.
I forget if it was for rats or cockroaches, but they eat a poison that doesn't poison them, and they bring it back to their offspring, and then once they goes through their body, it actually becomes poison, and then kills off the nest.
Oh, dang, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Probably bugs. Maybe it's ants, I don't know.
Fatal attraction. Last, but certainly not least, there's my favorite mind controller, Toxoplasma gondii. This is found in 22 to 84% of the human population. Depending on the country, this organism induces a phenomenon called fatal attraction syndrome. In rodents, T. gondii can only productively replicate in cats, but it can infect humans and rodents. Amazingly, it's evolved a way to alter the brain signaling of infected rodents to make them more likely to be consumed by cats. Studies found that individuals with a parasite not only had slower reaction times, but also no longer feared the smell of cat urine. But what's perhaps even more interesting is that it has been discovered in humans, like rodents. Individuals with toxoplasmus also had slow reactions, but disgustingly, they actually enjoyed the smell of cat urine. Researchers exposed study participants to urine from various animals, and those that were infected liked the smell of cat pee, but no other examples. Uninfected individuals unsurprisingly didn't like the whiff. It goes on. Researchers investigated people involved in road traffic accidents and Prague. They found that those involved in collisions, whether they were a pedestrian or driver, were more likely to be infected when compared with residents not involved in such situations. This indicated that infected individuals were perhaps sometimes more reckless. This research has certainly been met with raised eyebrows, and confounding factors are always a possibility. For example, it may not be that toxoplasmosis affects your personality, but perhaps people with a particular personality are more susceptible to the disease. Whoa!
That's kind of weird to think that, like...
I wonder if a lot of, like, cat people, like people who like cats, there's like dog people and cat people.
Are infected with it.
Yeah.
It could be the other way around, because it produces in cats, and then like cats lick them, and they get the germs in them, and they receive it.
Maybe. So, it could be it. The cats have been mind controlling us from the beginning. You could see it back in ancient Egypt when they used to worship.
It all comes back to the rats. The rats are the real cause.
That's right. So, what do you think about that there, Goose? Which one would you have to say would be your favorite parasite out of this list?
Probably the ant fungus, because it's a fungus that literally controls them like precisely. So I think that's a lot cooler. The worm's nice, but it just kind of like overrides their brains with suicidal tendencies.
I'd have to say that the last one would have to be mine, because I think that's very interesting that people can actually be infected by that.
Yeah, they actually become like affected.
And some of them might actually become more reckless.
I think
because that being infected but that's probably still being researched. But I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's weird that you don't feel affected, but then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I like cat urine pee.
I wonder
I like the smell.
I wonder
what?
If like people, some of those people that they're called adrenaline junkies, where they basically do stuff that's like
they're like adrenaline.
Yeah. I wonder if they might be infected with some kind of parasite that just gets rid of their like natural human fear of being hurt.
Perhaps it like feeds off of the stuff that just makes up adrenaline, and then it releases like something that's pleasing.
I guess we'll never know.
I mean,
or if we decided to research it, we probably would.
Why don't you become a doctor like me and then actually research it? Yes,
I went to
totally a doctor.
The school of knowing everything, so I already know it all.
Oh, then why are you reading this? Why aren't you just saying things off the top of your head? Like, tell me the cure for the common cold.
Well, you see, the cure for the common cold is, look at the time. We gotta get going.
Go. Oh,
so, what do we look at next time there, Goose?
Okay, this time, picture the sun. Now picture a dog. All right, now put them together. What do you get?
Oh, my God, that's the best thing I can ever think of.
And that's what we're going to find out next time.
On the Folklore Scrolls. Holla at you later.